Whoop, whoop! What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to yet again another Getting to Know the Artist. I am Wiggles, and we have j-payne with us tonight. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you bring your questions. If not, hopefully we got enough questions to keep him entertained. I seen Thurston was the first person in here said, "Holy shit, first big accomplishments, right on. I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate anybody peeking in right now. We just gonna jump right in, folks. With the first question. Oh, Donald, what up, homie? Whoop whoop. Um, yeah, we're gonna jump right in with the first question. What is your name? Where was you born and raised? And where do you currently live right now?
All right. My full legal name is Jeremy Michael Payne. I go by j-payne. Previously used to go by Crazy J. But I was born in Southwest Michigan, Three Oaks, Michigan. Really tiny town with like one light. Is my hometown. But I moved down. I moved all over the area. But when I was 11, I moved down to Southwest Florida, Lee County, Florida. And I lived down there like all of my teens, and I moved back up here when I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much where it was for me. And then I'm 35 now, but I live in Bridgman. Bridgman has it's a pretty clean cut town. Nice to have your family in. I got a big family, a lot of kids, but they have a really big attraction here called the Dunes, like right on the beachfront. So it gets congested here in the summer and annoying.
Yeah, yeah. I could imagine. You moved to Florida and moved back though. Like, I don't know. Most people I would think would
Sounds
love it
stupid,
there.
right?
Well, I mean, I don't do hurricanes. I'll visit the coast if I got the chance, but I ain't living there.
I'm
I'd rather deal with tornadoes here in the Midwest, man.
I yeah I that's how I like. I don't like tornadoes either. And I live in a trailer park. So I don't have a basement. So whenever we have tornado warnings, I'm like on edge.
Right.
But no, I lived through a handful of hurricanes down there, like Francine or Francis, Charlie, and some others. But I mean, um, yeah, I don't like hurricane season. And the only reason I moved back up here was I moved back up here back in like '08 or whatever. And that was back when like it was hard for me to even find a job down there.
Right, right.
My ex now, but at the time, her and I moved up here, and we quickly found work, and just started reestablishing our life from scratch up here. You know.
Right. I I applaud it because of the heat. Like I don't like the cold. The cold we got right now, it's freaking freezing, and there ain't even no snow on the ground. Well, I think it's starting to come down a little finally, but like I don't like
Where
the
are you at?
cold. But I'm in Indiana.
Oh, okay, okay. Like upper.
Literally like in the middle on the Ohio border. Like I'm an hour from Dayton, 2 hours from Columbus.
Okay,
Well,
so
more like three.
I'm literally on the Michigan Indiana border, like the Michiana area. So
Okay.
I'm
I've
not
been
that far out from you.
right. I've been up to the northern tip of Indiana a couple times. We helped somebody move from up there, and I visited the dispensary because it was right there and
They got like
whatever.
they got like 36 dispensaries going up on the state line right now.
Bruh, it's crazy. Like Indiana just they need to get
One
with it.
town, one town.
Yeah, because that ain't gonna be a cop shop watch. Like
Right on
Indiana
the right.
Patrol is just gonna be waiting. Let you accidentally swerve into Indiana. They're like, "Ah!" No,
Yep. What's
that's
funny is a lot of these. It's crazy, but a lot of these cats come into Michigan to the dispensaries, and they grab it, and like the mentality is, oh, I bought it legal. It's legal. No, the moment you cross that state line,
You're right.
not only is it not legal and it's a crime to have it, but you just committed a crime by crossing the state line with it.
Right, you're transporting. What the crazy? Yeah. And anyhow, with that, I dig it. Most people don't come up here and say they moved away and then moved back home like that or whatever. So, yeah.
I miss Florida, bro. I miss it.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. All right. Next question. What inspired you to start making music, man? Like, what was that switch that you're like, yeah, I think I can do this. I'm gonna do it.
Um, I don't know. Like when I was younger, or a teenager, like if I'm being real about it, I absolutely sucked as a teenager. I was just like one of those kids that just really wanted to do music, but just didn't have it. Like at that moment. But initially, I didn't even want to rap. I'm a music nut. I like all different types of music, but I'm really big into new metal. I love new metal. Obviously, I'm a uh, big geek for rap, hip hop, but just like back when my love for music really kind of made me want to go in that direction. I wanted to have like a rap core group, like a new metal group.
Yeah.
And obviously that never happened. So I started dabbling with rapping, and it took a long time for me to actually like start putting something out or whatnot. Like 'cause I was horrible, but yeah, I put out mixtapes like in my late teens and this and that. But I put out my first official album when it was in 2010.
Okay.
So
Hey, I mean, you got to start somewhere. Obviously, to progress and get to where you are now or whatever. So, I mean, can't I beat yourself up a little, but obviously you're doing it right. I've scanned your Spotify. You're getting some decent views on your songs. I don't even know about your YouTube or your group name versus your solo name. I know you said you kind of have some songs under both, or a
it's
few different aliases, and like, so you're doing the thing. That's
the
cool.
the stream the streams and views I don't think are ever gonna properly be reflected because as I told you like when we were talking outside of this I run Jesus Loves Juggalos, the outreach that goes to the gathering, and every year we hand out free music, and a lot of the music we've handed out for free were my albums. So if I'm handing out 1,200 copies or 2,000 copies, and I got them listening to it, that's 1,000, 2,000 cats that's not gonna be streaming my stuff.
Right on. Well, so check it out.
Like
From my experience, I got a whole plethora of physicals, but I like physicals. And when I do streams and stuff, I will play the music off the physicals in the background. But when I'm out and about, when I'm working, I'm listening on Spotify. That's my go to. I'm playing music all day
like
long. So, I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I'd like to hope. Yeah.
I have a love hate relationship with Spotify.
Yeah,
I love Spotify as a listener. Like I pay for
consumer.
Spotify.
Right.
My whole family has it. But as an artist, I absolutely
They
hate it.
be
Like
ripping you
I gotta break
off
like
and
how many thousands of streams just to break so much money, and like
yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, they
yeah,
definitely rob you guys. I will admit that by far. What? It's like, I don't know, 2,000 streams might get you 20 or something. Or I don't even know.
something like that. Something like that. It's like I don't really look into the breakdowns. Like when I get like when my distributor, you know, you know, makes me a payment. It's not like this is from Spotify. It's just a accumulated
Right, right. Everything, like,
money came in. Yeah,
right. Here's your mass stream payment. Here.
yeah, yeah.
Right on. No, I get it. Anywho, let's move on to the next question then. There you go. Who do you look up to in the music industry? current or past, growing up making music and mainstream or underground. Just give us you know.
Oh man, like influential
Right, right,
music
right.
wise. So I mean, I can't say I listen to everybody that has had an influence on me as an artist, like in my artistry, anymore. Like my sound has changed. What I've liked to listen to has changed over the years. But obviously in my earlier years, like an evident understanding. If someone listens to my music, you could definitely tell that I listened to ICP and Esham. I listened to Bone Thugs and Tupac. Um, I was a mixture, man. And then if you really listen to it, you can tell that I used to be a Manson fan. I was a really big hardcore Corn fan. Um, I was all over it. But I mean, if you typically listen to the way like I do things, I think you would get that like that line walking of like it's got these juggalo vibes, but it's got like this kind of bone thug kind of like melodic ways about it. You know, I kind of like I drive all over the road with it. I don't stay in like just one lane.
Right, no,
But
no,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I dig it.
ICP is what honestly got me into like the juggalo scene. But I very quickly became a very big Esham fan. Um, like we have me and Nino Light just put out an EP. It was a play on Esham's album, but it's called Carnival of the Kingdom, Booming Words from Heaven. It's 7 songs, and in one of the songs, I actually I rapped about like an experience in high school where I say I even dated a girl just to burn all the brothers Esham CDs. um,
Whoa.
really funny and off the wall, but like it was close. I was like, this will someone would get a laugh out of this. I put it in there, but yeah, like I quickly became an Esham fan. I was a really big fan of Dark Lotus. I preferred the original Dark Lotus album, like the original of the first. Um,
Yeah.
and Black Rain was like I loved Black Rain. I thought it was a masterpiece. But yeah, those are the Isham and Dark Lotus were like my favorites. But I obviously I still listen to ICP. I listen to Twisted. Um, and all the various acts. Um,
What
and
about something that's not horrorcore? Because homie, you could have came up here and said Taylor Swift, and I wanted to pass no shade. I mean, I don't like her, but I'm saying like it doesn't.
Taylor Swift.
I'm just saying like just because you may or may not be horrorcore, don't mean you have to inspire just from horrorcore music. You know what I'm saying? Like how you make music. I
You
like me. I like all kinds of music. If it's got a good tune or a jingle, I can relate to it or something like that,
I
then
I definitely can't say no Taylor Swift.
no.
But no way, no. But like outside of like the horrorcore realm, obviously. Man, like I said, I'm a music mutt. Like so, my dad just recently passed away, but my dad was like the type of dude where like he always listened to blues music. And if it wasn't blues, if it was like a Sunday or something like that, he was listening to some gospel,
Yeah, yeah.
some gospel music. But typically, he was listening to blues. My mom listened to a lot of like pop music, '90s pop music. So like I was really big on like the various '90s, um, just '90s pop music in general. Like I loved it all. It was something about like those one hit wonder bands, like and all their like I thought it was amazing. But you ever heard of a band called Cake?
Called what?
It's called Cake.
Cake?
I'm sure you've heard some of their songs at least. Probably don't know who they are, but you've probably heard their songs.
Maybe.
But that they're a really cool band. Like so, whereas like I'm sure you've heard of 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots, they do
Yeah.
all these different instruments. They incorporate all these different vibes. You know, very
Right.
alternative hip hop. That's kind of how caked the band was, man. They'd have like trumpets and orchestra type stuff, like dun, 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 like all these
Right.
different
That
sounds.
funky beat.
Yeah, so like stuff like that, like always intrigued me when someone would like bend the standards of what they were supposed to be fitting into, and then you're like, man, I don't know what to label this, but it
Right.
sounds
Yeah.
unique. Like so that kind of stuff was very inspiring to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Groups like that. So like obviously like 21 Pilots is definitely something that I actually like. I know some people I like most people either love them or absolutely hate them. But
I mean, the few songs I like a lot. I can't say I
yeah,
dislike or like everything they put out, but yeah.
yeah, no, that groups like that like really they're really inspiring to me. Like especially like the depth of the lyrics and like when you really dig into what the lyrics are expounding
Uh, yeah, yeah. Thank you for elaborating. I didn't mean to like
on.
no Taylor Swift. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
no Taylor Swift for me. Like,
uh, all right. Next question. Do you have any current projects in the work, man? Do you have any songs, EPs, features, tours, any shows? What's what? Anything new?
um,
Have you took a furlough on making music?
I got a lot of music in the making, man. Actually, it's not just my music. As I told you previously, I'm the founder of Red Face Movement. We got a bunch of cats that put out music. Got XSP, Nino Light. If you're not
Yeah,
familiar with Nino Light, Nino Light used to go by Nino White. He was one of the members of Sick Mob from West Coast Cali. Used to do tours with Mars and everybody, out that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
So Nino Light's got an EP that he's working on that he's about to put out. My boy Patrick Jackson and I were doing a collabo EP. Um, our homie Elevated, he's never put out an album out before, and he's working on his first project. So that's about to be dropping here in about a month or so. And then I always have projects myself. I have a reggae album I'm working on because I'm a big reggae head.
What?
I listen.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
That's my
I
shit,
listen to
boy.
I listen to reggae a lot, man. I have like a massive reggae playlist where like I could play the playlist for days and it would never repeat a song. But
Right.
I've 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 never actually done a reggae album. This is my first time, and actually it started because one of my previous albums that I put out, I one of the songs I made was a reggae song for it, and I liked it so much. I was like, man, I kind of just want to do a whole album. So I didn't even release that song with the album. I held it back and just started working on a reggae album.
Oh, I was
So
about to ask for real, like, what the song is. Israel Vibrations, dude. I love that band. They got all kinds of cool sound and vibes. I haven't found an old CD that's like different reggae music. Like I said, I collect actual physicals and stuff. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's different. It's fun. It's well, typically it's real. It's music from the heart. Like we can spit all this bull crap about I'm a tough rap gangster killer, but that ain't real. Like reggae's real, man. Like
reggae
man,
is like, I mean, it's cool because reggae it can engulf like various emotions, but it's just like regardless of what emotion it's engulfing, it's just a good chill music to just like take a drive to, or like whatever, like just chilling in your car
right.
drinking
I
some
like to
Chris
call it like
Light.
my Zen music or something.
Yeah,
Like there's a
it's
time for
it's
everything else, but reggae, that's like a vibe, bro. You're in a mood. Yeah, that's awesome.
but
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I got that. Uh, I got like Redface has an actual compilation album that we're gonna We're gonna be That's gonna be the actual project that we hand out at the gathering this year. That's what we're gonna be putting out. It'll have like 2 to 4 like cipher style tracks. Like everyone's going in on it, and then everyone's got like 2 solo songs on the project. Kind of just cataloging everyone's sound on there. But that's getting worked on. And then my like the rapcore group, the like a splinter group that I have, we have a EP that we've been working on. I'm hoping it'll get wrapped up this year. But that's that's the other project I'm hoping to drop.
Wow. A man of many things going on, it sounds like. You're my little mystery interview too, out of nowhere. That's pretty dope, man. You're not already. You're not what I expected from our just brief little conversation, which we won't mention that, but you know. So you're not what I expected, my guy. That's cool. Uh, okay. You have a lot of music. Do you have a favorite song or maybe a top three favorite songs that you've made?
uh, Man, I don't. It's kind of hard for me to even answer that, bro. Like, if I'm being honest, it's not that I hate my music, but I work on my music so much that by the time I drop an album, I don't like listening to it.
Right, you've done reheard, you repeating and restarting
I'm dead
and
serious. Like, so like Nino just came out from West Coast. We put on a concert. I don't know if you saw the music video, but we did a music video called Carnival of the Kingdom. But we were out when he was out here. The whole crew was together, and we were talking about it. And I literally told them, I was like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when I get done with an album, I might listen to it for the first week after I finish it. But like after that, I don't like unless I got a concert coming up and I need to refresh my memory on something. I typically don't really like going back and listening to my music. And
yeah.
by the time I'm done with a song, I'm just like I've listened to it 500 times. It feels like you know.
Fine. You want somebody to listen to your music. What's three songs you're gonna tell them to listen to?
Man. Okay. Yeah. That's a fair question there. So I guess I would go to what my most populars have been, like especially in concert, like when I perform. "Ride or Die" has like become a like motto song, a very popular one. There was also a song I did called "Untouchable." It was on the same exact album. It was the opening track. That was a really popular one. Um, and I don't know, like so what kind of became like a stamp song, like when I first officially started putting out music, was actually the song that the re-recorded version of just dropped today. Is the Demon Killer song with Axe Murder Boys. That
Yeah.
dropped. That was the title track for the Demon Killer Volume One that I dropped in 2010. That was my first album, and it I don't know, it just like it became a popular song. And I ended up re-recording it some years ago, like not that long ago, but I re-recorded it just like out of boredom, and it was just sitting on my computer. And coming up towards the end of the year, I was like, man, maybe I'll just throw this out there for everyone. So that's what I dropped. But yeah, that was I would say, like, if you're going to the very beginning of my catalog, that was one of the like staple songs.
Right on. Yeah. Just digging. Uh, Okay, so it sounds like you've been making music for a while, and you've established some things that you have people working under you, or at least with you in some groups of, or whatever. Are you this? I usually don't ask this way, but it kind of just fits. One, are you like a label then? Are you on a label? And then
um,
that,
so,
we'll answer that first. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, yes, it's kind of yes and no. Like I'm affiliated with Light Rider Music, but I'm not under contract anymore.
Okay.
I signed with Light Rider Music. They're a small label out of Elkhart, Indiana. I signed with them back when I did the Ride or Die album, and then I signed a second contract with them for my album, The Silence of the Lambs. And then after I finished out that contract, I just went back on my own, but I stayed affiliated because they're like family to me. But yeah, that's aside from that. No, I'm not on a label before or after that. Like outside of that.
All right, so then the following question follows as realistically, where do you see yourself or hope to see yourself in 5 years in the music industry? Are you going to stay independent? Do you want to have your own LLC? Do you want to be signed? Do you even care? Is this just for fun? Is
I
like,
mean, I'm not gonna lie. So my motivations aren't like fame or like lining my bank account. If it was, then me handing out my music for free is kind of defeating that purpose.
right, right, the opposite.
Um, so that's not really my desire. I mean, it would it be nice? Yeah, it would be awesome. You know, better be able to provide for my family. I can better sow into the outreach that I do. You know, it would obviously make things better and easier for me if I'm a good steward with that money. But
Right.
as far as like blowing up like that, I don't know, man. I'm content where I'm at, but I would love to go further. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
you know I like and I wouldn't say it's a lack of ambition because I stay grinding. I stay working on music. I stay putting stuff out. I stay active with it. The ambition's there, the drive's there. It's just I don't have the same targeted reasoning, if that makes
Right,
sense.
right. No, that's I
Um,
get it. I mean, just to be
I will say
financial. Go ahead.
no, you're cool. I will say this. I am desiring to, hit the gathering again. That's I've actually, that's actually why we put the Carnival Kingdom music video together because we wanted to be able to send, psychopathic something, be like, hey, this is our Carnival Kingdom, sound like we would like to do a Carnival Kingdom set. That's why
Right.
Nino Light and I did that. But
Put the bug in old Rob's ear.
yeah, it's
uh,
um yeah. Well, I'm sure you're asking that question later, so I'll expound
yeah,
on that a
yeah,
little bit later.
yeah. I was so just like for a 5 year plan. Let's wrap or cap by saying or cap it, not cap, like by saying, everybody wants to be at least successful or better off than maybe where you are now financially or whatever. But I love that you say that's not the goal, man. A lot of people come up here and that's cool too. I'm not taking away from you or them, but most people
I
come
ain't
up
hating
here.
on
I'm
anyone,
on my
but
grind, baby. I'm gonna make that money. I'm done working a 9 to 5. Da, 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 and more power to you. I'm just the guy asking the questions. I'm a square. I'm gonna work a 9 to 5 my whole life. So
no, man. I like it. If someone can, if someone's finances are blessed or they got an ambition to really get it, I'm not hating on that, man. I would encourage everyone to make sure your priorities are straight because, you could get a good paying job and it ain't worth it.
right, right,
Like you could get an amazingly desired career in music or anything like that, but your personal life is non-existent and
right.
you're not happy, man. Like, and I've heard these like after the fact type of statements from people that have actually been there, done that, and I'm just like, yep.
Wasn't that great, was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
but we don't see that when we're gunning for it.
right. Um, okay, man. If not music, then what? What would you be doing? Would you just be working that 9 to 5? Do you have another passion or hobby or talent that you would be doing, or do you think it would have always been something around music?
Um, I'm not sure about that, man. Like so, like I grew up like since I was a teenager, I've been detailing cars. I detail cars. That's what I do. I work for another company now locally, like doing other work, but like what I've done since I was a jit was I detail cars. I've managed detail shops. To where like we've worked on anything from like rusted out like garbage Ford Explorers all the way up to $500,000 Rolls Royce.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like real gangster stuff. Like there was this one Rolls Royce I detailed, man. Like I was scared to even touch it, man. It had it was on, this thing was sitting on like 24-inch chrome rims. It had suicide doors with an umbrella and
No way, bro.
yeah. I'm like I don't want
Like,
to touch this thing.
right.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Like and me getting into that field, it kind of came by letdown because I grew up like I got thrown in like the ESE classes in high school. Um, you know, and it wasn't that I wasn't intelligent or whatnot, but just I was very like my mind was very like ADD.
Right.
And it was hard for me to focus and retain certain things, whatnot. So I got thrown in those classes, and like my ambition initially was to go to school for art. I was really into art. The high school I went to down in Florida, I got put into Center for the Arts. It was a program at the high school that would help you get placed in colleges. With like pre-accreditation type stuff like
Right, right, right.
where
Dual
but
course
but
credits. Yeah.
I became very discouraged by that in that because I found out that because I was in ESC classes that the colleges that they would be trying to get me into I wouldn't be able to go to
Right.
because they wouldn't accept the diploma. So I got initially I was trying to get put into normal classes and just have a tutor and try to like finish out like that, but they said I'd have to go back and make up my first 2 years of credits. And like me being
Dang.
a young kid, I was like, I don't want
Right,
to do
right.
that.
You're like,
Like so
nah.
I just got mad and upset and like I didn't know what to do. So like I dropped out of high school. I went to trade school for auto body because I didn't know what to do with my life. I got straight A's for a whole semester, but I absolutely hated it. So I left, went back to high school, finished out my 11th year, and then I never went back. And then
Oh,
like to make it even worse, I enrolled into the GED class twice, and I dropped out of that both times. I never even accomplished my GED.
damn it, man. You kicked yourself in the ass a couple times, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Well, I'm not going to take away from you on it because I had an IEP throughout high school, and I was also, well, throughout school period, and I was also ADHD, but I had a little different of a, I don't know, I guess maybe similar but different of a, rough upbringing, and I got presented with like a choice, and I chose to graduate high school. Like, my mom decided to run with her old man from the law and gave me the option to run with her. And life was kind of crap before that, anyhow. But I told myself, like, I want to graduate high school. So, I kind of
good, man.
made myself do that or whatever. But I think it's cool. You said art. Are you talking like just drawing on canvas art or like,
Uh, so I was awkward in art too. I I was very like abstract art and like graffiti, like the two. So I liked both of them. I liked to blend them, whatnot. And then I was very into like I like doing lead, but I would play with pastels, like smear
okay.
pastels or whatnot. I didn't really get into painting and stuff like that. But one of my earlier like desires, hand in hand with that, was to be a tattoo artist.
Okay. Yeah.
I got my first tattoo when I was 16. Got a hatchet man on my chest. I really desired to eventually start tattooing and just the further I got in life, it just that more and more just wasn't really an option for me. Um, so it is what it is.
That's straight. What about as a kid? Did you want to be a singer or tattoo artist then? Or maybe a
Early,
firefighter or astronaut or paleontologist?
early in my earlier years, I was really into skateboarding. My earlier teens. Uh, even like I mean, I still skateboard now, but like I can't do most of what I used to. I just
Right.
I have a skateboard now pretty much because my kids like to go skateboarding, so I'll take them to the park and I'll try to teach them the basics or go
Right.
have time with them. But other than that, man, I don't like. I used to like ollie over people or stack skateboards, do that stuff. Like I don't like. I'm scared I'm gonna break my ankle.
Right. Um, believe it or not, I wanted to be a freaking cop, man, till I was like 5, and I watched a bad scenario happen there, and then life kind of, yeah.
Don't tell Juggalos you wanted to be a cop, bro.
Oh, dude, I say it all the time. They be snitch, fed, bro. I'm real as
I
they
don't.
come. That's one thing people learn about me quick. I don't change script just because
I
now
have
18 jugs hate me or dude, go on with yourself.
I have like a love hate relationship with cops though. Like
They're
everything in
just
me wants to do everything in me wants to be like, look, man, like they're here to serve and protect, this and that. But like my interaction with cops has been
right. Right.
I don't like cops. I if a cop pulls behind me, like my heart is racing until that cop
Instant.
like
Even if I ain't got shit on me, dude, I
I
feel it.
so like well I've been harassed so many times, man. Like, because I mean the cross, man. Even though he's rocking a cross, like I've been rocking this logo on my stuff forever. Since like 2013. But bro, I've gotten pulled over so many times over having the logo on my vehicle. There was even one day specifically, I got pulled over. I like I work out of Indiana, like, but when I was heading to Indiana, from where I live, I was on the interstate. I was on 94, and this cop car with two officers in it. They pulled me over, and it was so early, man. I didn't have no caffeine in me. I was like,
Right.
I was like, I had like,
Yeah.
like now I'm definitely gonna be late because I was cutting it already. But they pull me over and they come up to me, asking where I'm going. I'm telling them I work at the dealership in Indiana, blah blah blah. And I'm just heading to work, and and then they start asking me stupid questions, and it became clear to me what they were like insinuating. Uh, but they were like, you know, have you been in your trunk this morning? When's the last time you were in your trunk? You know, do you know if anyone else was in your trunk? And then they cited that, well, there's fingerprints on the trunk, and I'm like, well, I have 5 kids and a wife. I'm pretty sure there's fingerprints everywhere. Like,
What are you getting
um,
at? Yeah, there's some fat
yeah,
bitches
like,
in there. Get off my
like,
ass.
so they asked me, they were like, you mind if we search your car? And everything in me wanted to be like, no, I
Right.
do not consent. But then my mind goes wild. I'm like, man, if you say no, they're gonna get a canine unit. They're gonna plant some drugs in your car. It's gonna get way worse than it has to be. I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, you can search my car. So I get out, and then they before they do that, they pat me down. They pat me down to search me, and the one officer takes me back. Has me further back from the vehicle, while the other one goes through looking. And man, I'm like leaning over and like leaning forward, like trying to like watch what this cop's doing, and the other cop's like, "Here, you need to be back here." I was like, "Yeah, I know," but
Yeah.
I'm anxious as crap that this dude's gonna like plant something in my car. And nothing came of it. Like they let me go, but that's just one of many scenarios where I got pulled over. I got harassed by the cops. delayed in where I was going to. One time it happened again was actually when I was on the way to hospice to be by my grandmother's side before she passed away. And these
Man.
cops pulled these cops once again. It was another unit that it was a two officer unit. They pulled me over. They pulled up in behind me at a gas station and harassed me on the way there because I stopped to get gas. And then on my way back, the morning I left hospice, my grandmother hadn't even been dead for an hour. Like she had just passed. The same exact unit pulled me over on the Interstate 94
Bro.
harassing me. Those are just two. And
No,
neither of
no,
these
you,
there,
yeah, you, you
no
ain't even got
no
to
tickets,
justify to
nothing,
me.
nothing.
I
Just
hate
pulling me over and harassing me.
I hate simple abuse of power, bro. Watching them use their lights to go through a light and literally turn them off like the next light down the road. Like, no, you didn't have a call that just ended. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Like, and I've
yeah,
seen worse cases of abuse of power and so on and so forth. So believe you me, I'm more on the ACAB side. But
that being said,
Wiggles,
bro,
when I was five, I
I've met
wanted to
some.
be a cop. Like, oh my god.
I will say, bro, I've met some really good-hearted, genuine, humble officers. But the problem
That
is,
actually want to protect, but they're a gang and they sign that thing saying fuck
there's still
anything that I believe. I gotta follow what this says.
I've had so many bad interactions that I try to be encouraging to my kids concerning officers, but me myself, I just don't want to be around them.
Right, right.
I don't.
All right, enough with the popo. Question question number 10. Uh, not 12, 10. Have you have you played the Gathering of the Juggalos or been to any? And if so, how many?
Yeah. Like to start out, as I said, I run Jesus Loves Juggalos, the outreach that goes there and hands out food, water, bago, music, everything, shirts. Um, that outreach started in 2013, and we've been going ever since. There was a couple years that I ended up missing, like one of the years I wasn't there because I had my album release party and I got married that year, so the team went without me. Um, and then the first year that my guy Joe, who initially started the outreach, he the first year he went without me, but I provided him with materials. Um, so we've been actively going since 2013. So what,
Hell
12?
yeah.
Yeah, like 12 years. And initially I wasn't trying to. I went several years before I even tried to perform at the gathering. But so many people were asking me like, "Why aren't you getting on stage?" I was like, "I'm just not really here for that." But a handful of years went by, and people kept asking me the question more consistently. I was like, "Okay, well, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If enough people demand it, I'll do it." So enough people got like demandy about it. So I reached out, and they actually reached out back to me and asked me to perform at the 2019 gathering. So I did that. I performed on third stage. It was at Cannibal's house. It was in memory of the fallen homie that was protecting that wife and child. Um, so honored him in that. But that was the first time I performed, and then obviously there wasn't a gathering in the 2020 nonsense. Um, so there was nothing there, but I ended up the next year that they had the gathering again. I ended up performing on the concert stage um, for a second time. But ever since then, we've been, as I previously stated, it was a little easier for me to get on there because I have all my own solo music videos. I have performance videos.
Right.
Um, but the set that I've been trying to lock in isn't just me. It's me and Nino Light. And at that point, the past few years, I've tried to inquire to get on the roster. I didn't have a performance video to give them. I didn't have a music video to give them. So at that point, they're not really taking me serious on
No, no.
putting me
Sadly, Rob don't give a shit, bruh. If you ain't got a video, he ain't even gonna give you a shot. Like it could even be some bullshit, like a video with some lyrics maybe or some stuff. Like he just wants to see something, I think.
But
Or
yeah, we got a music video now, so I plan to inquire and reach out and see if we can get. It don't matter what stage. Just a lot of people have stated they would love for us to do a Carnival Kingdom set, so I just want to make it happen for you know, those that want it.
you're saying you'd rock the pirate stage, even you don't care. You just want to get on
It don't matter, man.
it.
It is what it is.
Do you not? Does your camp not be doing just little like side events right there or whatever? I guess, what are you, Juggalos for Jesus then, or like
Jesus loves juggalos. Like, are you
Jesus
saying like
loves like?
do we
Do
go
you gotta?
elsewhere outside of the gathering?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that too, but I'm saying like at the gathering, I know people just like, I don't know, parking lot party, do a little
Oh
concert or a
man,
side event or you know.
we're pretty like when we're there, man, we're pretty busy, like round the clock. Like
Gotcha.
um, because like you got the main traffic. Like you've been to the gathering,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the last
Okay,
year was
okay, yeah. So like, I mean, like you get spurts of traffic, especially where we set up, and you can tell, like, okay, so and so just got off stage. You got all these people running out. They're making their
right
run towards the
flow
stage. Yeah,
into.
like so you have these rushes that we kind of anticipate every so often, and then you have your stragglers in between. But we're not just handing out stuff, man. We sit down and actually like get to know people and like really build friendships with them, and
Yeah,
just chat it up, whatnot. So we got cats like that coming through, so we stay pretty busy with it. But outside of like the gathering, I travel all over to perform. I actually, like, man, it was back in 2021, December of 2021. I flew out to Boston, Massachusetts with my homie Killer C um, to perform at it's called the Raven. Uh, so we rocked. He had Killer hadn't performed in like 10 years. Him and I talked, and I ended up going out there, rocking his set with them and doing our songs together. And we enjoyed the weekend. Like, we went to the Boston Tea Party Museum and all that. But
yeah.
I've flown out there. I've gone back down to Florida to perform, all over Michigan, mainly Midwest. So down into Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, down to Indy, stuff like that. I haven't gone out west or anything like that, but I try to stay pretty active with it.
Right on. Yeah, I can't say I've seen you perform. I don't know that I've seen your name on a ballot around here, or anything like that. Which I've only been in Indiana for like, I don't know, 8 years or something like that. I don't know. Um,
Where are you originally from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was born in Illinois, a small town nobody's heard of across the river from it, Wood River, Illinois. But you say that to people, they like, huh? So it's literally right there. Um,
Ready?
all right. If you could collab with any artist, who would it be? Mainstream or underground?
Man. So I got two that I really wanted to collab with that I'll never get to. Um, One was BMX. The other one is Bushwick Bill. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bushwick, but Ghetto Boys.
I'm not.
Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Maybe,
little big,
maybe, but
little big man. Bushwick did some. He did some appearances on earlier ICP songs, like back in the day. But
okay.
yeah, those two guys, and then like if I'm talking like currently, man, I'm actually a pretty big fan of NF. Um, I would love to do a song with NF. That would be pretty
Somehow
dope.
I figured you would say that. And you know what? I dig him too. I can't even like hate. Like he's got some pretty dope songs. So That's awesome. And rest in peace to DMX. Damn it,
Yep.
that's crazy. That's a good selection of artists to collab with. Um, yeah. Next question. Okay. I really hate this question, but I still ask it because sometimes somebody's gonna come up here and tell me they met the president or something. But the question is, have you ever met anyone famous to you? And obviously, being an artist, I know you've met other artists and stuff like that. But for my answer, I've tried to use I met Polly Shore. He's a
Yeah,
comedian. He's non-artist related.
I'm not gonna cite artists because obviously I operate with some bigger names, like, so I'm not gonna go there. But like, if you were gonna talk about, like, Hollywood or whatnot, um, I do have one instance where I actually have two instances. I can't really say I'm fond of the second instance, but the first instance, and both of them came from me detailing. Um, but do you know who Dennis Farina is? Or
Dennis
was
who?
Dennis Farina?
Farina? Farina.
Um,
Not offhand. I wish I had somebody that could like pull up his picture for me. I'm not that
so
sophisticated of a podcast.
so like the original Law and Order TV show.
Okay.
He was one of the main guys in there. He was a retired cop from Chicago turned Hollywood, and he was one of the main guys in there. Have you ever seen What Happens in Vegas with Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
So what's her name? Cameron Diaz. The guy that plays her boss,
Yeah. That's
that
him.
Ashton Kutcher is always like goofing with. Yeah,
Right,
the guy
right.
that plays the boss, that's Dennis Farina.
And he brought a
I
car to
used to
you? Or well to your shop?
yep, I used to maintain his vehicles. And
Wow.
what's cool, I don't know, maybe it's because he was a retired cop and like he was like, he had already lived life before he even got into Hollywood, but this was the most down to earth guy that when I first saw him, when I first met him, I didn't even realize it was him.
Yeah.
Like,
He wasn't like
and
all over cocky or
no,
just here,
no,
take care of my shit.
no, dude was really nice, man. Really, really down to earth guy. He was a nice tipper. He didn't, he didn't come in there like an arrogant, rich, rich dude, acting like he
Right.
was,
I'm famous. Grovel to me.
no, very, very, very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. The other person, and these are just the first two that came to my mind. Like, I'm sure I've met others. I'm not recalling it right offhand. But and this guy isn't even a celebrity. He's just a very big figure. Louis Farrakhan. You know who that is?
Okay.
That's president of
Politically. I mean, I don't follow her, but
yeah.
yeah, I've heard the
No,
name.
so
And
no, so that's and like I said, not too fond of that interaction, but I met him because of the same thing, detailing
yeah.
vehicles. Ended
So
up
wait,
maintaining.
this these people are like Hollywood stars, and this is when you lived where, and they brought their car to you, the shop you worked at. Like,
Yeah, so this is local to where I'm currently at, not in this town, but you know, back over, when, um, but
hmm,
yeah, no, so like Dennis Farina, for um like I said, he was a retired cop from Chicago. He had moved out this way, so he had
right.
two. I think he had his house here, in
And
this
a
area,
summer home, and then a
and then
third
and,
hideout, and
yeah, and then I believe he had a second home in Arizona, if I'm not
right,
mistaken.
right.
So yeah, like, but yeah, it's, I mean, like, those are two, prominent names that I've met. Like I said, not not too fond of the one, but
No, it's cool. You actually, once again, have given me an answer that nobody, I don't think nobody's came up here and said that. Most of them have just said artists. I've had a couple people meet a couple like football players,
oh,
something like
well,
that. But
I, I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I don't want to name drop in the culture because, like I said, I operate with, I got
Right.
phone numbers where I chat with cats. Like it's not a big deal to me. But like if you're talking like big artists like that, like I did meet DMX, and crap story is my ex who moved up to Michigan with me from Florida. Um, uh, we weren't married yet at the time, but it was her graduation night. I dropped out of high school. She did. She was an honor student. Um,
Right.
but after the graduation, we went to try and go eat somewhere, and everyone was packed. We tried going to Hooters. We tried going to Perkins. This is down in Florida, and everyone was packed. It was graduation night. So we ended up going into a Denny's. Like, didn't really want to eat there, but whatever. And we're sitting down, waiting for our order, and my ex father-in-law at the time, he's sitting across from me, and he's like, my back's like kind of towards the entrance, so I don't really see what's going on behind me. But he tells me, he's like, is this guy like famous or something? Everyone's going up to him, and uh, this and that. And I turn around, and like I've never felt like this before. But I'll be honest here. Like I got like starstruck. I was like I was a fat kid in a freaking candy shop. I was ah!
Yeah.
And I look back, and it was DMX, dude. Like, and he's shorter than I had imagined. He's got, he literally really rocks that chain. His voice
Yeah.
is like his voice actually sounded raspier in person than it does in
And his
when he
song singing and yeah.
like and I'm like, oh my gosh. And this is back flip phone, razor days. But I'm like, oh, like I'm all excited, and like I got the courage up to just go talk to him. And I went up to him, and I was real humble about it. I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to bother you, bro, but like I'm a big fan. I was like, do you mind if I get a picture with you? And dude, he was so cool about it too. He's like, yeah, man. I'm not even gonna try to do his voice,
Yeah, yeah.
but he grabbed my phone from me. I had like the thin like razor phone.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, here. And then he asked one of the girls that was like standing there. He was like, would you mind taking a picture of us? And like that itself, I'm like, man, not only is he taking a picture, he's like asking this girl to take a picture.
Right.
I'm like, this is awesome.
He's trying to make that shit
So
good.
yeah, so he hands her the phone, right? And I think we took a picture. I get all excited, and I'm like, man, it's so nice to meet you, this and that. And then I don't want to be overbearing, so I left it at that. I went on with my night, sat down, for dinner, and I go to leave because I didn't check my phone after the picture. I go to leave and go to check the picture. There was no picture on my phone, bro.
She didn't take it.
I
Was it one of
didn't
his
take it or
girls?
it accidentally did. I was so mad. Like I was like, what? And then like he was still there, but it was like I was
Nah,
like,
right. Like,
yeah.
was that
I
for
was like,
real? Was that meant?
I,
But yeah.
well, no, well, I was like, man, I can't ask this guy for another picture. That's just kind of out of
I don't know.
proportion.
I'd have been like, look,
So,
your bride, woof woof, ain't hit the clicker.
but no, like what's crazy, bro? Is like I don't want to throw no dirt on dude's name because I mean he's a real
No.
G.
Right.
But like, bro, like he was like the girl that took the picture wasn't the girl that was there with him. It was just one of the people there at the Denny's.
Oh.
Um, but he was there with a woman from what I remember, and it was not his wife. It was not. From what I recall, it was a tall Latino woman, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, and I don't remember the time frame, but I think he might have just freshly gotten out from uh when he was. I don't remember when he did time for the dog fighting, but I think he might have just like freshly gotten out or something. But I was mind blown because I didn't understand because where I ran into him in a Cape Coral in a Denny's in Cape Coral, Florida.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
I
why are
did
you
not expect
here?
to. Yeah, I didn't expect to. yeah, like the last place I ever expected to run into someone like him.
Dude, Denny's
But
notorious for that. Like, I don't know what time you said it was, but like that
it
3
was late.
a.m.,
It was
4
late.
a.m., yeah, even midnight, whatever, boy. Everything's closing. You done slosh, but you need something to eat or something, boy. Find a Denny's. That's cool though. Yeah, rest in peace to DMX. I'm sorry you didn't actually get your picture, but that's still pretty dope. Do you have any siblings, man? And do they support your music career?
um, I'm actually I'm actually an only child. My mom had many miscarriages before. Who's
Well, I'm
this teasy?
sorry.
I'm looking at the comments like.
Oh, Teasy, that's my homegirl. She a cop though. Watch out.
All up in here with the cop talk, cop talk. You are a
Mm,
cop, buddy.
yeah.
But no, no, I don't have any siblings. My mom actually had multiple miscarriages before having me, and I was her only child. Um, but I would say like I grew up very close with my cousins. Um,
Okay.
in fact, my one cousin, both of us, her and I were both only children. And we grew up like brother and sister. She's a little older than me, but she's like my big sister. Um,
Yeah.
and then the like a splinter group of mine that I do. The I do a lot of the raps. My cousin does like the screamo stuff, and then our best friend who's like our brother. He does like the melodic, like the singing. So yeah, like my cousins were pretty much my siblings growing up.
No, that's dope. I mean, it's kind of ironic that you have a cousin that's also an only child. You're an only child, almost like you guys were meant to be like siblings or whatever. Um, I can dig it. I have see like that's crazy. I haven't had an artist I don't think that didn't have siblings, but usually when I do, I've had one artist come up here and say like their sibling will like show them props if they get recognition from like the clowns or Ouija or something, but they ain't bumping their music or whatever, something like that. So it's always fun to ask that question. Usually, um, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, I uh, I've gone through phases. Um, like yeah, I like that. Like there was a phase that I went through, like in my teens, where like I was obsessed with like a dominant orange. Um, and then even in adulthood, I think lime green is one of my probably favorite colors.
Hell yeah!
Like
I
not
growing
like the
up,
yellowish lime green, but like the stern, like almost like '80s neon, like stern green.
right, right. Um, I wait, like so, kind of like monster color green or
Yeah,
more?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's about on point. Yeah, I love
yeah.
Monster.
Okay. Me too. I used to love blue, and then as an adult, I really love red. So that's my go-to. What's your favorite domesticated, like at-home animal and wild type animal?
I love sugar gliders.
Wow, bro, those are dope. We were just talking about those in one of my other streams.
Oh, for real? Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually, uh, it was we had a mishap with mine. I had two couples, so I had four. I had two boys, two girls. And just some mishaps happened, and it really bothered me. So we used to like we had them. I plan on having sugar gliders eventually in the future. Just right now, my life's too hectic to have them again. They definitely need a lot of attention.
Right.
They can, but we used to let them run around our house. Perfectly fine. We leave the cage open, and they're cool. Like three of them were two of them were really nice and lovable, but one of them was really hyper. and then the other one, he was warming up as time went on, and then the other one was just a meanie. Like she would just stay in the cage. um, but they always ultimately went back to the cage. Problem is with sugar gliders, if you are allowing them to roam your house, you have to be very careful of what openings you have in your house, including toilet seats.
Really?
And yeah, like it wasn't my wife's fault. Like she didn't realize that she wasn't in the cage, but one of our girls, she didn't realize was in the cage, and someone forgot to make sure the toilet seat was down. And we came home, and she had passed away.
Oh,
And then what sucked about that is, so if you know enough about gliders, if they're paired, if they're couples, they can die of depression. So she died, and then quickly following it, her partner died because he became depressed.
right,
And then we
right.
had and then we had a similar situation that happened with the other one, where the boy died, and then the girl died, and she died while she was pregnant.
Darn it.
So, yeah, so I was so crushed by it that like I sold my cage setup and everything. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm done for the
I've
moment.
been contemplating a freaking sugar glider, man. I wanted one back when I was a kid and never did. We had a couple parrots, and now I own some snakes. I've always had fish and stuff like that. I like weird exotic animals.
I would encourage it. Just make sure if you do, you're gonna have the time for it.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you're not gonna have the time, if it's kind of questionable, at least make sure to have a pair. A boy and a girl together. Make sure
right.
they're fixed. So you don't have more babies. But um, and also if you can get them as babies, it helps you bond. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
right. That's the same with birds. If you
Yeah.
wean
No,
them
I
or
love birds too.
what.
I had parrots growing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then is that your domesticated, your favorite at home animal? What's your wild type animal?
I mean, we got a little dog here that is obsessed with me. That is a family
Oh,
dog.
okay. I wasn't sure
And
because that is a domesticated animal, but it is exotic.
yeah,
So,
out, out, outside of that, man, like I'm really big. I love salt water. So I got a 55-gallon saltwater tank. That like I tend to, and it kind of keeps me
really, like
afloat.
coral reef or just fish?
It doesn't matter. I like it's my life's been hectic, so I haven't been able to build it up as much as I want to. But I have like a snowflake eel in there. I got some clowns.
Yeah.
I got like
Listen, man, I got a whole nother channel called Casual Aquatics. That's my weird side hobby. I
That's
swear.
cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I love saltwater, man. Like
Um,
it's cool.
all right, my home animal is a dog probably, and my wild animal is a white tiger. And something about him, I just love him. Um,
I don't know. I don't
it's,
know about wild animals. I've never
that's what I'm
really
saying.
been
There ain't
into.
a, you like a cougar or a wombat or I don't know. Man. Just throw some stuff out there. An alligator, kangaroo. You said saltwater, and I thought you was gonna say, "Well, I like sharks." Okay.
Well, I mean, if that's acceptable to go that route, I would definitely say I have a fascination with like the larger saltwater aquatics, like octopuses or something. Like I
Yeah, that's
literally,
wild, bro.
I I literally was so infatuated with it just recently, actually, that I was looking into what I would have to do to have a tank to have a small octopus.
Man, they're so smart and intelligent. Like they can
That's the
get
problem.
out.
Like you have to have it sealed up, so because there's a small like brown octopus that you can get. They don't get that much bigger than your hand or whatnot. Like
Right.
you know. But the problem is like so me having an eel in my saltwater tank, that alone is hard because you have to make sure the lids are heavy enough. You got to make sure there's no openings. You got to make sure
Yeah,
everything's
boy.
right out. But an octopus that's a whole nother level because they're so smart, man. They can thin down, get through little openings. They can like
Yep.
they're so yeah,
They got a whole ass brain. It's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
Um, yeah, okay, that works. Uh, we're a little past an hour here. I got one other solid question I'm gonna ask, I guess, and then I'm just gonna run through these game questions I have real quick. Those don't take that long. I like to ask every artist some. It's kind of fun. It takes away from the heavier whatever the case is. This last question is kind of like two or three part question, but who or
Okay.
what inspired slash came up with your name and logo? So, like, do you have a logo that is identifiably you, rather it's on a shirt, a hat, some kind of merch or something like that? And then
Um.
who came up with that design, if so? And then you can just touch on your name, which I think is because
Uh.
of your name.
Yeah. So j-payne obviously it's just going short off of my legal name Jeremy Payne. So when I first started putting out music, it was under the name Crazy J, and that was more of like my teenage nickname, you know. Um, so I just started putting music out under that name. But as I got older, I just kind of wanted to get away from, like having the name Crazy. It narrows down your reach. um,
Yeah.
you know, so like, and I wanted it. I wanted my music not only to have a wider reach, but I wanted it to be more specifically identifiable with me. And most of the cats, that operate with me, they literally call me Jay. Like most people don't call me Jeremy. My wife calls me Jeremy because she refuses to call me Jay, but she's like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna call you what everyone else calls you. But for real. But no, so j-payne is just me getting closer to like what I typically go by in real life. Um, and as far as the logo, I've had variations of logos where they're just, someone threw them together. The current logo I do rock though, it was kind of a edit of the font that was used or drawn up for the Ride or Die album cover. Um, and the Ride or Die album cover was actually done by Eight Legs, if you're familiar with him. Um,
Heard. I don't
yeah,
listen a whole.
he's with what super famous fun time guys. Um, we don't talk anymore, but dude and I go way back, man. I was doing music with him before we were like even known. Like, he had hit
Right.
me up randomly. Yeah, he had hit me up randomly. This is back when he went by Busted Eight. He wasn't going by Mr. Eight Legs. Um, and so we go way back to that. But yeah, when I came to me doing the Ride or Die album cover, I just really wanted like an animated, like a drawn up cover, and he's amazing with the way he does the artwork. So hit him up to do the cover, and then I loved the way he did the font for j-payne so much that I just started using that, um, you know, um,
Yeah.
to go with it. And then it went from just saying j-payne to adding j-payne music to make it you know more driven that way rather than someone just rocking my name.
Right. No, I
um,
get it. Gives it a little creativity.
and then the logo itself, it has a slogan at the bottom, says music with a message. So the whole point of my music and everything is I want to have a impact on the listener's life. Like I want to make sure you have a positive impact from listening to what I say, whether it's
Yeah.
opening your perspective to that, or leading you into faith, or this or that, or making you look at things slightly different, or being more open to to other understandings. I want to have an impact on the listener. I want to encourage, I want to edify, I want to build up. I got music that addresses depression and anxiety and like that's a bad one nowadays. Like we take we take pills for our anxieties and depression, and then we take pills for those pills, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. So like yeah, but like the whole point is like any song I put out, I want it to have a message. I don't want to just do music to do music.
Right on. No, no, that's dope. I can appreciate it. Um, yeah. All right. So now we have the either ors. So I'm just gonna ask one or the other, and you choose one or the other, or neither, I guess, can be the answer as well. Um, and these go by pretty quick. Then I have like a random question here and three fill in the blanks. Anybody that's still rocking with us in this interview, an hour and 15 in, you guys are awesome. You are what matters, and I thank you so much. If you have any questions for this man that I have not asked after I run through these either or questions, if we see some that are worthy of bringing up, we'll ask him or whatever. So be thinking of some questions, but we're gonna run through these either or questions, and I just want to thank everybody, you included, Mr. Payne, for taking the time out of your night. I know you was only gonna give me a half an hour originally, and I already stole a quarter past an hour, so I appreciate it. Um, we're gonna start with Twix or Reese's.
Gotta go with Twix, man. I like them both, but I love Twix. Twix is good,
Oh yeah,
especially
it's
like
either chocolate and
the ice
caramel or
cream,
chocolate and peanut butter.
the
Kind of like that.
the ice cream bar, the Twix ice cream bar is amazing.
Yeah, that's a good thought on that. Okay, summer or winter?
Uh, um, I have a love hate relationship with both. When it's summer, I wish it was winter. When it's winter, I wish it was summer. But
Right.
but if I'm choosing one, I would prefer summertime over winter.
Absolutely. Juggalo gamer in at the end. Whoop whoop. What's up, homie? And he said winter. Uh,
What's good, famo?
day or night?
Day or night?
Yeah.
Um, I'd say daytime. I mean, like in my younger years, I was more of a night owl. But I don't know. I prefer daylight to like so the time change. I don't know if the time change is exactly the same as it is for me up here for you down there, but like
I believe.
I can't stand when it's like 4:30 and it's already getting dark and I need to mow
Yeah.
my lawn. Like
Yeah.
like I hate that. Like I love days where like it's 9:10 and it's just now starting to get dark.
I'm just not a morning person. Like the getting up in the morning and like that's just not me. I'm more active like mid afternoon into the night. I do like the night. I like staring at the night sky. I'm that weirdo on that aspect. But it's really just I don't like getting up in the morning, or I would probably do more in the day. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not a morning person. I'm not a morning person.
Juggalo Gamer said, "Summer I don't mind as long as it's not 100 degrees in the heat in the desert, dying like Beavis and Butthead. And winter, if it's winter, man, a nice 60-degree day with a little bit of wind, I love it." Ray, I didn't know you were in here, lady. Whoop whoop, hello. Yeah, I'm not a morning person too. Well, I just recently went to third, so that sucks for me, but I'm getting adjusted. At any rate, truck or car?
Truck or car?
Yeah.
Um, man, that's a crazy. So I've never owned a truck until now. I like like if I back up, like before I had kids, I always rocked. I drove around like O2 Impala on 20-inch chrome rims, man. So strong. I detail cars, so like my car was always like pristine. I had all custom grill, aftermarket headlight. Like I had this thing decked out, but now I drive. I'm chilling in my dad van.
Yeah, that's
um,
dope.
but technically, this is the wife's. I did have a secondary van that was mine, but I sold it because I inherited my dad's truck when he passed away. Well, my dad actually signed it over to me, and I had it hauled up from Florida before he passed. But yeah, now that he passed away, I'm driving a truck now. So Ford F-150 Triton V8. The thing is like monstrous.
As Remington said here, truck or car, I'm going to go both because you have an advantage with both, although my favorite would be an SUV. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. I guess that should be an answer. I naturally say a truck because you can always earn a dollar. And I know people are like, well, the gas prices for a truck, but it doesn't matter. Theoretically, you can earn a dollar always with a truck, helping somebody move, hauling something. It's what you set your prices to. If gas is $20 a gallon, you're going to be paying me quite a bit of gas on top of the labor. Otherwise, if gas is $3 a gallon or something, then we'll just talk about how much I'm charging you to haul the crap, like
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you
But
got a good point there, man. I've
yeah.
had to borrow or have someone help me with the truck several times before, but
Yep, rent
even
a
my van,
truck or whatever.
even the van, I can put the seats down to get some stuff, but some stuff you still just can't even fit in the van because it's
Right,
too heavy.
listen, I've been there in the little Geo holding a mattress on top of the fucking car, bro. Like,
You talking you
so,
talking a little Jeep
yeah,
Metro?
yeah, boy, like we doing it. We going 5 blocks, baby. We got this.
That's funny. That's funny.
So yeah, I don't know, just a truck. All right, you and the sweethearts going out on a date. Are you going for a movie night or roller skating?
Whew. Um, Man, it's funny that you even asked that question. My wife and I have been like itching to go on a date.
There it is,
um,
baby.
um, I don't know, man. I guess it depends on the mood or if there's a movie that we want to see. But no, we do like getting out and doing something like roller skating or ice skating. Like I actually I've been waiting for it to get a little snowier or colder out here. I would like to get away and I've never had a chance to take the wife ice skating, so I'd actually
Dude, that'd be
like to.
dope. I've only went like twice in my life, but I would do it again.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, there's a lot of things I haven't done either, man. Like I've never gone snowboarding. I've never gone skiing. I would like to
I've
do
never
that.
went like I don't know to a place that you actually snowboard, but I've like went snowboarding down some big hills randomly or whatever. Fell on my
Yeah,
face.
I've done stuff like that, but yeah, I'm talking like all out like
Like an
mountaineering
actual
stuff.
like ski. Right, yeah. No, yeah, that's cool. Well, hopefully, maybe you get to do that. Pizza or pasta?
What was the first?
Pizza or pasta?
Uh, it depends on what kind of pizza and what kind of pasta. But I'm gonna say pizza. There's this one pizza place right next to me. And my friend bought pizza when they came over one night, and one of the pizzas, it was amazing, and I actually replicated. I started making it on my own at home. But it was called like the Bad Dragon, and it was a pretty basic pizza, man. But it had the pizza sauce, it had honey, and then it had fresh jalapeno slices, not pickled, fresh jalapeno slices,
Ooh,
mozzarella, and then tons of goat cheese chunks like all over it. The
man, that
creamiest
sounds
slice
so weird, but
and
maybe
spiciest.
good.
It is delicious, man. It's like the sweetness and the creaminess and then the spice, like all three of them just kind of like complement each other. Delicious pizza.
I'm not gonna knock it. I would try it once. All right, the next two are kind of combined, and it's more like for your fans. If somebody actually find this, tries to look you up, whatever. But are you more active on Facebook or Instagram?
I'm more active on Facebook.
All right,
I mean, I have Instagram, but yeah.
and then TikTok or X.
I'd say I'm not very active on TikTok, but I'm more active on TikTok than
Okay. Pepsi or Coca Cola?
X. Coca-Cola. I like Pepsi as a teenager, but I don't know. Like it shifted to Coke as an adult.
If it has to be a Fago, which is it gonna be?
Oh, my two longtime favorites are Rock and Ryan Red Pop, but
All right.
I really like Firework and Cotton Candy. Those are my
Yes, that's my shit right there, boy.
I I also like the candy apple if I'm in the mood, and then there's this Jolly Green apple
See, I haven't
flavor.
got to try that.
I That's what I was just gonna say. I haven't got to try it yet, but I want to.
Oh,
Yeah,
you just said
yeah.
my whole spiel right there, boy. That apple is okay occasionally as a treat, but not all the time. And then like obviously dreaming's okay. It's about the same. But I have yet to try that
Dreaming's
Jolly
good too.
Green. Yeah.
Dreaming's good too. There's also the Arctic flavor. I don't know if you've tried it. It's pretty good, man.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I've seen it. I don't know why I haven't tried it though, but I might have to. Pie or cake?
say what?
Pie or cake?
Oh, pie or cake?
Yeah, my bad.
I'd have to say pie, man. I like to me a lot of times cake is way too rich.
Okay, yeah.
It's like but I don't know. Like if I'm in the mood and it's a good cake, yeah, I'll have cake. But I prefer pie.
Mexican or Chinese food?
Um, man, um, I like them very equally, but I'll put it. I'll put it this way: if it's not authentic Mexican, I want Chinese.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a great answer because like some real Mexican you can't beat. Um, Chinese you can't beat the buffet, boy.
Oh no. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me don't get me wrong. I do love Taco Bell, but to me, Taco
Oh, that
Bell is
ain't
not
real Mexican. No.
it's not Mexican food. So though I like Taco Bell, that doesn't count in the realm of Mexican food talk.
Right. Okay, this one's fun, or gonna be fun to ask you because you just said you do it with your kids and used to do it before, and you also live by the coast. So, surfing or skateboarding?
Skateboarding. Um, Surfing's another thing I've never actually tried doing. So I can't even say I prefer one over the
What? You
other.
lived in Florida and never surfed?
Never. No. What's crazy, man? Like I like fishing, but I've never really fished when I was down in Florida. I
Wow.
Yeah, I never fished while I was down in Florida. I lived in Florida for 8 years. I never fished. But I I have fished up here both before and after I was down in Florida.
Right. That's so crazy. Deep sea fishing. I would definitely try it once. Even with like
Yeah,
some
I
regular
would,
bait.
but I never.
Like I would go down there like Midwestern with just a night crawler boy in my rod and see what bit. Like I wouldn't care. It would be fun.
Yep, yep.
That's interesting. Well, all right. You're given $5,000 in cash, but you have to pick one store to spend it at and spend it immediately. Where are you going?
Is there any other stipulations on it?
No.
I'm just going to a Walmart and filling a net spend card.
Okay, yeah,
uh,
that works. A lot of
you know,
artists say like music stores, but I've had a handful of artists now say Walmart for different reasons too. Like that's a new reason. Usually, like people have said they can get a basic, microphone or recording something or whatever at Walmart. It's not going to be the greatest, but just to start doing some stuff musically or whatever. I had a
I
female
mean,
artist.
if it's something more specific than that, I would probably say I would take that kind of money to, like a home improvement store or something like that, to where I could get, stuff for my household that, that needs tended to. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a nice amount of money, and I could definitely make a dent with that. So I mean, if I was gonna jump something quick, it would be something more on the responsible tip, you know.
Absolutely, and I don't try to put no ties around it. I just want to see what y'all say to me. I want to hear something different, something new. Like I was about to say, I had a female artist come up here and say, "I'm going to Walmart and buying diapers and formula for my kids, and then I can put money elsewhere because I ain't got to worry about that." You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, that's that's a pretty good answer. I mean, my wife just ran and bought more diapers today for us.
Right. He said, okay, so I'm giving my wife a little stack and I only get four.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. There we go.
That's cool. All right, man. Real quick, I got some three little fill in the blanks. And if anybody in the chat had any questions, I don't know if anybody asked any questions. I would try to scroll through, but you still got a shot to throw a couple questions in there right quick. I seen Lydia come in at the end. Whoop whoop. What up, homie? I appreciate the support. Or maybe you've been here the whole time and finally just talked. I don't know, but thank you. Uh, so the first question, fill in the blank, is my favorite vacation was blank.
Oh man, my favorite vacation was blank. Um, I'd have to say my favorite vacation was the last time I actually took my family on vacation. I uh, that was before my two youngest boys were born, so it was just my wife and the kids we had at the time, and I. But it included my daughter, which I don't see anymore. Um, long story short, um, very vindictive mother attacked my whole household, CPS nonsense, called the cops on me, made false allegations against us over and over, and I ultimately haven't seen my daughter in like 2.5 years now, like completely ripped out of my life.
Sorry, man.
And no, it's all good, man. It comes around. Um, but that was the last time that was the last vacation we had actually done was in 2021, and we all went down there. We had my one of my friends, Otis, he's a photographer down there. We did a whole family, family pictures together. We had a really good time. We spent 10 days down there, and my kids were actually while we were down there, I actually performed a showcase. So like my kids, we went to the water park. We went all over, and we literally were in my stomping grounds where I was, in Lee County.
Yeah.
My kids got to see where I was. So that one is probably what I've been on vacations my whole life. I've been out to Las Vegas everywhere, but that's the one that really means the most to me.
No, that's wholesome. That's some real memories. Yeah, that's dope, man.
Just because of my daughter. But yeah,
My mom tried to take us a couple times to like Six Flags or whatever, but we like lived by there. I asked that question specifically because I never went on vacation with a family. You know what I'm saying? We never all
oh,
packed up 1 week out of the year and went to Wyoming or went to no.
no,
Our vacation was country cruising. All right, kids, get in the car. Let's go for a cruise. And that's what it was around the fucking cornfields, bro. And then we came home, and that was that, man. Like, and that's okay. That ain't a poor me story. That's where the question came from. So it's cool to hear answers like yours. That's awesome.
No,
Um, the bicycle I had most as a kid was blank.
man, I had a lot of bikes growing up, but I the one that sticks out to me the most was like I was, man, I think I was like 7 years old. Um, I don't know how old you are, bro, but I don't know if you
I'm
remember these
I'm
days.
32. I'll be
You're 32.
33
Okay,
this year.
so you're close to my age. So like they had these kids bike back in the day where they like looked like motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah, the
They
plastic
had all
frames
this
on
like
them or whatever.
they had all this plastic casing all
Yeah,
over it.
right.
Like I was like 7 years old, man, and I remember having that, and I was so proud of that bike.
Yeah, that's what's up. Um, my first bike that I really recall, like I remember like a tricycle bike from being a kid, and there's a story attached to that. But like actual 20-inch bicycle, you know what I'm saying, was a Huffy Rocket Power. But the bike I had most in my teenage years was either a Next or a Mongoose, and they had the mags, and I always tried to have the fat boy pegs on them. I thought I was cool as shit. I wasn't, but I thought I was.
Yeah, no, my the second bike that I can remember having, like the most prominent was it was a Huffy, it was the gooseneck Huffy, like back when the gooseneck
Yeah.
bikes were getting pretty popular. My dad had bought that for me when I went down to him and my mom like were freshly separated, and he for some reason went all the way down to Tennessee, and I ended up um, visiting him in Tennessee, and he went and bought me a Huffy while I was there. And then
Yeah.
the last bike that I actually owned was like when I was a teenager, but I left it down in Florida when I came up here, and it, you know, whatever. But I had a blue and black GT.
Ooh.
It was a really nice bike. I wish I could have brought it up here with me. But yeah, that was the last bike I actually had. But I came across a old school Huffy, like I think it was a Champion frame that it was.
Yeah.
My friend hooked me up with it, and I actually like I had it powdered, sandblasted, powder coated. I repacked the bearings. Like I decked it all out. I bought the old school, rims and the like the Dominator seat, all that stuff. I from scratch made this a whole custom bike for my oldest son.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
It was fun,
Bob,
man.
stop.
Like for 3 months I worked on it for him. But yeah, it was an older Huffy frame. I actually have a dyno frame torn apart in my shed.
Bro, dinos and horros? Now you're getting rich, man. You're too rich for me. Go back to Walmart.
No, I got into a mood to restore another bike when I was doing that for my son. So I looked for a old beat up, dyno, and I found one for like $100, and I grabbed it, and I've never had time to work on it since I grabbed it.
Right, right. It's pretty fresh though. Last question I have for you, man. Nobody really put none in the chat, but that's okay. We've been kicking it for an hour and a half. The last question I have for you is the best part about the beach is blank.
Mm. I don't know, man.
Is your
um,
wife around? We know there's an answer. No.
no, no, honestly, bro. Like, so, that was the other thing. Like, so I'll be real. Like, obviously, I told you, I'm Christian, so like, I ain't rocking with that stuff. But I'll be real. I'll level with you. Back when I lived in Florida, bro, I never really liked going to the beach for like, but me and some of the Juggalo homies I had, down in Florida, we would go down to the beach and we would just sit there and
Yeah.
sightsee.
Yeah.
um,
No.
as 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 far as like like the beach here now. I like freshwater beaches. I don't like. I enjoy being in Florida, and like when we were down there, I took my family down there. But like I hate a mouthful of salt water. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So like I really like freshwater beaches, and I really do enjoy. I enjoy. I wouldn't say the beach, but actually going out on a boat. I enjoy being out
Okay.
on a boat.
Yeah.
Go out like to the depths, and you can just jump, swim around, whatnot. I enjoy that more than the beach because I hate sand. I can't
So
stand sand.
I have never been to the ocean, so I've never got to experience that. I would like to at some point, but that's not my answer either. I just like to throw it in there because naturally, most people are like, "Of course, people in bikinis or whatever." No, I like that
Grown old men
nature.
in speedos.
Right? No, I like that. There's nothing bigger than nature to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure you got a different answer to that, perhaps, but you'll never be bigger than Mother Nature. You'll never beat it. And when you're met with that raw power and you're just taking it all in, again, I'm a hippie.
no, I
I
respect that.
really,
I really appreciate nature. That's a big reason why I have like the saltwater tank. I just enjoy watching like creation, or
right,
like
right,
everything.
exactly.
Like just the beauty of everything.
It just allows you to step back. If you go to a big lake or you're out in the woods, like get deep in them in the woods, and you're walking around and you just let yourself go and realize, like, there's more than you. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, I really, that's my favorite part about the beach. Yeah, sure, looking at women in bikinis is nice, whatever. Well,
the uh
but
the beachfront over here in New Buffalo, Michigan, right on the state line. The beach there, if it's a clear day, you can literally see all the way across Lake Michigan to Chicago.
yeah,
You can
that's
see
like
all the Chicago buildings, in on the other side of the lake.
That's like over in Ohio. I have a buddy that lived in Euclid, Ohio, and we went to the lake. I think it's Erie right there, Lake Erie or something. And I didn't get to see this myself, but he said on a really clear day in the summer, you can almost see Canada. Like, what? So I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. There's the big bodies of water and just even woods or storms, man. Like, yeah, you should be going down in your basement, but I can't help but to watch a tornado, or something. That's why, like that. I don't want to be around hurricanes, but I'd be fascinated by them the same, really. So crazy. But no, yep, that's
Tor-
definitely my answer. EC coming in at the end. Whoop whoop! I freaking love that dude so much. He is an
Tornadoes you can
awesome
watch
homie.
from a distance.
Right. Hurricanes, there's throwing that water. There's probably floods going on. I don't know, but nah, it's just not for me. Donald said, Wiggles, you need to come visit the coast, homie. The ocean is nice. I bet it's pretty full. I don't do sharks, so even though I want to try to surf, I probably would never go surfing. I'm going to
You
hang
know
out with the lemon sharks in the 3 foot area.
what's crazy is when we went down to that vacation on my area in Florida with my family. We went down like way deep on Fort Myers Beach, and like away from the main beach fronts, and
Right, right.
private beach areas. And we went down there, man, and we're all swimming, bro, and it was so beautiful. Two dolphins came up by us, swimming by us, and my kids were like all amazed by it. And then not only that, a manatee swam up by us.
Oh, yeah.
Like so, yeah, it was really cool, man. My kids were like just mind blown, like couldn't believe it. But yeah, like that's cool. I mean, obviously I'd be tripping out if I saw a shark fin, but I mean dolphins and manatees are cool.
Right, right. Man, that's like when COVID was going on and all those like pink dolphins or whatever dolphins were just showing themselves coming up canals and stuff because us dirty, nasty humans weren't out there daily polluting it, and you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been some shit to actually see. But you ain't hearing that no more about all these dolphins randomly showing themselves. No, because we're out there dirtying it all up again. Dude, you've been a very interesting guest, to say the least. You said you were giving me a half an hour, and I stole two almost from you. So I thank
You
you.
good, bro? I ain't tripping, bro.
Uh,
It's all
if
good.
you have any last minute shout outs or whatever that you want to get off or get out or whatever, this would be your time to do that. At the end of this, I'm going to hit you up on Messenger to get all of your links, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want the people to have. I'm going to put it in the
Yeah,
description of this video.
yeah. I mean, uh, I'd just like to encourage, if anyone wants to reach out and chat up with me personally, I'm always down to chop it up. Um, if you're looking to listen to my music, obviously just look up j-payne on whatever platform you use. You'll find the music right away. Um, I My most current project I have is the Booming Words from Heaven EP that I told you about, but it's not released. It's unreleased. But if anyone's willing to make a $5 donation to the outreach, JesusLovesJuggalos.com, I'm making sure that everyone that makes a minimum donation gets an exclusive download of it. So you can't find it on Spotify or anything. It's direct download. So
All right.
yeah, that's about all I'd say for that, man. I'd say keep doing your thing, man. I've been seeing you you doing this pretty consistent, man. You're doing good.
I try. It's fun. I enjoy it. I feel like I owe it to artists. I owe it to myself because I gatekeep my own music for like 20 years. If the clowns didn't put it in front of me or it wasn't on the radio, I wasn't listening.
You was one of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was. I was one of them.
No, I get it, man. I get it. I
Because
had a
even
lot of
before I
friends.
found the clowns, I really listened to just radio, like mainstream, like Corn and Limp Bizkit, and like Eminem, and shit like that. So yeah, and
Okay.
then older music. Yeah, I was real quick, briefly. I was 12, 13, 2002 when my cousin Lindsay came to live with us, and he had his hair spider braided, and he was rocking a great Malenko jersey, and I'm like, what the, what? And then that was it. It was a wrap. Here we are,
I,
20
I,
years later.
I got I got hooked in by hearing Riddlebox, specifically Toybox. I was
Ooh, yeah, that's a good
I was
one.
a I was a little hateful jit. Like when I heard that song, I was like, "Ooh, this is awesome." So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
no
hooked me in,
doubt.
man.
I like to end my streams by telling all of you lovely faces to tell somebody you love them because you don't know who needs to hear that shit, what they're going through in their life, and it might be you that changes their course from what they were thinking right here and now they're doing right here. People need to hear that. They do. I don't care how tough they are or whatever. They need to hear somebody say, "I love you," and I'm there for you, homie. So
You have
please
no
do.
you have no clue how good a encouraging and gentle word could could really save someone. Like that's real right there, bro. I like that.
Absolutely. That's just
That person in the fast food drive through that's giving you a nasty attitude and you want to give it right back. You have no clue what they might be dealing with.
right, right.
Yeah.
They might have woken ever, and they're just trying to make it through life that day.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah. I love you guys. Whoop whoop, and we out of here.
Whoop.
If I can even end it.